gagawin mo yung bagay na ikakalabag nito based on your own principles. Parang ganon. So, halimbawa na lang siguro, no? So, sabi nga niyan, kapag ang batas daw ay hindi na justifiable, it's okay to break down. So, example, um, dahil sa itong sitwasyon na pandemya, so maraming mga tao ang nawalan ng mga trabaho. Di po ba? So, isa to sa mga hindi magandang resulta o nararanasan natin sa kasalukuyan. So, ang isang padre, maaring ang ibang tao nakakaisip gumawa ng bagay na hindi tama. Katulad na lamang ng pagnanakaw. So, alam niya na ang pagnanakaw is mali. Pero dahil nagugutom na yung kanyang pamilya, wala na siyang mapagkunan para pambili ng pagkain. So, gagawin niya yung bagay na mali na alam niyang ito lamang yung paraan para matugunan niya yung pangailangan ng kanyang pamilya. So, di ba? So, sinasabi natin na mali pero andun yung prinsipyo niya na mapakain niya yung kanyang pamilya. So, parang yun po yung post-conventional morality. So, ito po yung isa sa mga critics ni Colbert, sa theory ni Colbert about morality law o morality theory of morality. So, hindi naman maiiwasan na sa lahat ng mga studies ng mga experts ay meron at meron talagang kukontra dyan. So, isa na po dito ay yung si Carol Gigilan noong 1982. Si a researcher assistant of Colbert's criticized her former mentor theory because it was based on the narrowly or research using the white people, upper class, men and boys. He argued that women are not deficient in their moral reasoning and instead proposed that that males and females reason definitely. Girls and women focus more on staying connected and maintaining interpersonal relationships. So isa ito sa mga si Carol Gigilian sa mga nag-oppose doon sa theory ni Colbert kasi naka-focus lang doon sa mga white people and then sa mga kalalakihan lang. So parang nawala yung ng mga kababaihan. Okay, so that's all my report for today. So thank you for listening. So siguro yung questions po mamaya na lang after ng isa pang reporter na kasama ko na si Sir Alan.
So thank you so much San Mateo Results Group, Sir Alan's group. I really appreciate all your efforts, guys, for we had a very fruitful discussion this morning. And as if you look at our schedule, it will only be until we'll be having our class until 12 noon. And some of you are asking what time are you going to join the class. If I were you, you just join the whole duration of our classes kasi limited na nga yung time. Tapos, still kung if you'll not join, sayang naman yung mga learnings na mag-gain mo out from the discussions that we are having. And I really appreciate them, those who are really having the time to be in our class, entire duration ng discussions natin. Sabi ko, nasa inyo ang pagkatuto. So, again, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for the effort. Very generous po si Ma'am Marlene when it comes to pag-report ng makikita nyo how I show my appreciation doon sa mga efforts na ginagawa ninyo sa klase natin. So keep up the good work. Reminder lang po, we'll be having our classes next week. So half day ulit, but next week we'll be having our class Sunday naman para hindi naman unfair doon sa puro Sunday lang ang klase, puro Saturday lang ang klase. So you take turns. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the effort. Naka-line up na po yung mga nag-message sa akin. Ipopost ko na lang yung sequence ng mga magre-report next week. So again, thank you so much and God bless everyone.
Hello, ma'am.
Sir Alan.
Ma'am, meron pa po akong i-present. Okay lang po ba?
Can you do it in 10 minutes or 5 minutes?
Yes, ma'am. Akin, ma'am. Sige po. I will try,
Okay,
ma'am.
very short lang. Just the important details lang kasi medyo gutom na din yung iba.
Alright. Sige,
So,
ma'am.
okay. Yeah. Sige, Alan. Sige, go.
Alright. So, again, good morning. So, we still have 6 more minutes to finish my report. Okay, anak. Kindly close the door. Alright. Sige, doon ka muna, anak. Okay. So, to start up with, so aside from the four theories that my group mates were discussed earlier, so I would like to add this two more theories about human development. Okay, so we have here the attachment theory and the Vygotsky socio-cultural theory. All right. So attachment theory, so this was developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth. So it describes the dynamics of long-term relationship between humans. Okay, so what are the key points of this theory? So the attachment theory describes the dynamics of long-term social relationship between humans. Attachment in infants is primarily a process of proximity seeking to an identified attachment figure in situations of perceived distress or alarm for the purpose of survival. Next, so what are the key terms of attachment theory? So we have two terms here. First, we have the separation anxiety. Okay, so a psychological condition in children characterized by apprehension when separated from a parent. Okay, then attachment. This is the strong bonding toward or with sa ating mga parents or sa ating mga caregivers. So later on, malalaman natin, no, makikita natin why yung ating mga estudyante is behaving like that inside our school. Okay? So, Bowlby conceived four stages of attachment that begin during infancy. Okay? So, merong apat na stages si Bowlby. Okay? Number one is what we call the pre-attachment. Number two, attachment in the making. Number three, clear-cut attachment. And last is the formation of reciprocal relationship. Now, ano ba yung pagkakaiba ng apat na stages nito? Okay. So, for pre-attachment stage, okay, so ito yung from birth to 6 weeks. So, in this stage, so built-in signals such as crying, cooing, bring a newborn baby into close proximity with their caregiver. So, babies recognize a caretaker's smell and voice and are comforted by these things. The infant is unable to tell the difference between his or her mother and others. Then complete attachment has not yet occurred in this stage. So the baby is still comfortable being left with an unfamiliar person. Okay, so by the way, this is my newborn baby. Okay, so this is Althea. All right. So next stage, we have here the attachment in the making. Okay, so yung stage na to is from 6 weeks up to 8 months. So in this stage, attachment is getting stronger attachment is getting stronger during this stage. And infants respond differently to familiar person than they do to strangers. So kung kanina, yung ating baby from birth to 6 weeks, okay, pwede natin siyang iwanan, okay, dito, nagsisimula na siyang ma-attach dun sa kanyang mother or dun sa caregiver o yung lagi niyang kasama. Okay? So, kapag may ibang tao na pupunta sa ating bahay, mapapansin natin yung ating anak, okay, ay nag-iiba ng response towards dun sa strangers or yung sa ating bisita. Okay? So, third stage, we have here the clear-cut attachment. Okay? So, this is from 8 months to 18 months. So, in this stage, the child develops separation anxiety, okay, or gets upset when the mother or attachment figure leaves. Okay, so ito alam ko, mostly talagang naranasan natin to or nakikita natin sa ating mga anak or sa mga kakilala natin, sa mga bata. Okay, once na yung kanilang caregiver or yung kanilang mother ay umalis, ayan, sisimula na yung umiyak. Okay, makikita mo, nagtatantrums, kasi andun yung separation anxiety na nararamdaman ng bata. Okay, next. We have here the formation. This will be the last stage of Bowlby attachment theory. So this is what we call the formation of reciprocal attachment. Okay? So yung coverage nito is from 18 months to 2 years. Okay? So in this stage, Rapid language growth facilitates the understanding of new concepts, and children begin to understand a parents coming and going. Okay? So dito yung ating mga anak, okay, sa stage na to, medyo nagiging busy na rin sila, no? So na-attract na rin sila sa ibang bagay, nalilibang na rin sila sa mga laro. That's why kapag iiwanan natin sila doon sa pwede nating pag-iwanan sa bahay, okay? So nararamdaman nila na alam na babalik yung kanilang mother. Okay? Kaya pwede na natin silang iwanan. Pansamantala. Okay. Now, aside from Bowlesby theory of attachment, so let us discuss the Ainsworth's types of attachment. Okay. So, kay Ainsworth primary contribution to attachment theory comes in the form of a study known as the strange situation. Okay. So, in this study, so Ainsworth placed children between the ages of 1 and 2 in unfamiliar situations to assess the type and level of their attachment to their caregivers. So dito nagkaroon ng experimental si Ainsworth. Okay? So para matest natin kung gaano ba ka-attach ang isang bata dun sa kanyang mother or sa kanyang caregiver. Okay? So her research showed that children generally use the parent as a secure base from which to explore unfamiliar room, and they become upset or uncomfortable when the parent leaves and a new individual not known to the child enters the room. So ang ginawa niya kasi diyan, okay, so step 1, pumasok yung bata at yung mother, okay, naglaro, and then step 2, lumabas yung mother, step 3, pumasok yung stranger, okay, so ganun. So doon niyo na nakita yung naging behavior ng bata. All right. So, Ainsworth types of attachment. So, ito yung naging na-identify ni Ainsworth na 4 primary types of attachment dun sa kanyang ginawang study or experiment. Okay, so number 1, we have here the secure, the avoidant, the resistant or ambivalent, and the disorganized attachment. Okay, so for secure, alright, so secure, so dito, children with this form of attachment use the caregiver as a source or as a secure base from which to explore the room. Okay, they are comforted by the parent and show a clear preference for the caregiver. Okay, now, for avoidant naman, so dito sa part na ito, children avoid contact. Okay, nung pumasok yung stranger, okay, sorry. So these children avoid contact with the caregiver and show little interest in play. So they do not seem to mind when the caregiver leaves, and they treat the stranger in similar fashion to the caregiver. So the child may act in rebellious manner and have lower self-esteem as they get older. The children of parents who do not meet their basic needs or are inattentive may form avoidant attachment. Okay. So next, we have here the resistant or the ambivalent. Okay, children with this form attachment are unable to use the caregiver as secure base. Okay, and they seek out the caregiver prior to separation. They are both distressed by the caregiver's departure and angry when the caregiver returns. Okay, parang wala siyang pakialam. Ano? They're not easily calmed by the caregiver or the stranger. And they feel anxiety with the caregiver due to inconsistent attachment pattern. Okay, and the last one, yung fourth natin, disorganized attachment. Okay, so this fourth stage was added by Ainsworth colleagues Mary May. Okay, children with these attachment patterns engage in stereotypical behaviors such as freezing or cracking. They act strenuously with the caregiver and do not appear to know how to attach, doing such thing as approaching with their back turn or hugging the stranger upon their entry to the room. So disorganized attachment generally result from the child being maltreated or neglected in some way. Okay. All right. So yung ano yung pinaka generalization ng attachment theory. Okay. So dito for attachment theory, so childhood attachment, so children who have secure attachment to parents are more likely to be a successful adult. Okay. Now, kapag i-compare natin to dun sa ating school settings, okay? So, mostly, mapapansin natin, or most of the time, yung ating mga not-performing students, kapag hinong visit natin yan, makikita natin, sila yung mga estudyante na mayroong broken family. Okay? So doon pa lang makikita natin na yung childhood attachment nila doon sa kanilang caregiver, doon sa kanilang mother and family ay hindi maganda. That's why when they become adult, okay, nadadala nila yon, right? And yun naman yung kailangan nating i-guide at tulungan for them to at least ay malampasan nila yung scenario ganon. Okay? So that's all for attachment theory. So next, okay, we have here the Vygotsky sociocultural theory. Okay. So for Vygotsky sociocultural theory, views human development as socially mediated process in which children acquire their cultural values, beliefs, and problem-solving strategies through collaborative dialogues with more knowledgeable members of society. Okay. So yung more knowledgeable members of society, it can be yung ating or yung mga adult na pwedeng mag-guide sa ating mga bata. Okay, just like sa atin, okay, so sa school settings, teachers, adults, pwede baka non-teaching, they can be yung the person that has more knowledgeable members of society. Then Vygotsky theory is comprised of concepts such as culture-specific tools, private speech, and the zone of proximal development. Okay. Now, ito yung for emphasis ng theory ni Vygotsky. Okay. Number one, so Vygotsky places more emphasis on culture affecting cognitive development. Okay. So he claimed that infants are born with the basic abilities for intellectual development called the elementary mental functions. Okay. But for PJ, focuses on motor reflexes and sensory abilities. Eventually, though, through interaction with the socio-cultural environment, so these are developed into more sophisticated and effective mental processes, which Vygotsky refers to as higher mental functions. Okay? So dito, kung pinanganak tayo, we have what we call the elementary mental functions. Okay? By the help of our environment, okay, yung socio-cultural environment natin, this can be the person around us. Okay? So nag-develop yon into higher mental functions. Okay, next. Number two, Vygotsky places considerably more emphasis on social factors contributing to cognitive development. Okay, so he states the importance of cultural and social context for learning. So cognitive development stems from social interactions, from guided learning within the zone of proximal development as children and their partners co-construct knowledge. In contrast, J maintains that cognitive development stems largely from independent explorations in which children construct knowledge of their own. So for Vygotsky, the environment in which children grew up will influence how they think and what they think about. Okay? So ito, may relate na naman natin, no? Environment is a big factor kung bakit ng ating mga estudyante ay ganito ang piniperform. Okay? So gaya ng sinabi ko nina, upon home visiting, our students, makikita natin yung condition ng kanilang bahay, yung condition ng kanilang environment ay hindi kaaya-aya. Okay? That's why affected yung kanyang performance. Alright. So ito po yung zone of proximal development ni Vygotsky. Okay? So makikita natin sa drawing dito, so yung orange part is the current ability of the child. Okay? So this zone is the area of exploration for which the student is cognitively prepared but requires help and social interaction to fully develop. Okay? So yung current ability na to, nasa bata to. Okay? Then yung green part, ito yung zone of proximal development. So dito natin or dito kailangan na ng guidance. Dito na kailangan ng more knowledgeable person ng bata according kay Vygotsky. Okay? So a teacher or more experienced peer is able to provide the learner with scaffolding to support the students' evolving understanding of knowledge domains or development of complex skills. So dito tayo, dito yung malaking part ng teachers. Ano? So as a teacher, tayo yung mag-guide sa ating mga estudyante for them to be prepared for their future. Okay? Ngayon, for example, dito yung bata. Okay? Yung bata ay marunong ng umupo. Okay? Then by the help of an adult, yung kanyang mother or yung caregiver, so tuturuan siyang maglakad, i-guide siya. Okay, so yun yung term ng scaffolding. So tayo nagiging sandigan para ma-achieve ng bata yung isang ability. Okay. So next natin, number 3, Vygotsky places more emphasis on the role of language in cognitive development. Okay, so Vygotsky believed that language develops from social interactions for communication purposes. Vygotsky viewed language as man's greatest tool, a means for communicating with the outside world. Okay, and number 4, so according to Vygotsky, adults are an important source of cognitive development. Okay, so ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. Adults transmit their cultures, tools of intellectual adaptation that children internalize. In contrast to Piaget, so emphasize the importance of peers as peer interaction promotes social perspective taking. Okay? So yung pagkakaiba nila, no? So kay Vygotsky, yung adult ang may malaking factor talaga sa cognitive development ng isang bata. Okay? All right. And that will be the end of my presentation. Okay, so thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Alan, for the shared knowledge. Again, let's end our session for today. Next week, I'll see you all next week, November 14. Half day po ulit tayo. Okay? So, may I request for your indulgence to please just listen to our reporters. You will gain much. And ulitin ko lang, sobrang na-appreciate ko yung mga efforts ng mga reporters. Alam ko you were quite stressed with this very short span of preparation, but then you were able to do well. Congratulations. Okay, so that would be all for this afternoon. Be safe and God bless everyone. Bye-bye. See you next
you,
week.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
po,
Bye.
ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po. Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Congrats po sa mga reporters.
Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Ate Christine, isa lang po kayo pumoto, Ate Eka lang. Sino? 1, 2, 3, 4,